This is me playing Minecraft for the first time in 4 years after watching Ludwig miserably fail to speedrun the game over and over and over. Like, surely it can't be that difficult. You just have to get iron, make a nether portal, get pearls, get blaze rods, locate the stronghold, and then find the end portal. And then you just kill the dragon super fast using beds that explode. It can't be that hard, right? The steps you just heard me explain in the intro is a very simple version of what I actually have to do to achieve my goal of beating the game in under 1 hour. But before I could even start my first run, I had to learn how to do all of those things using multiple strategies designed by speedrunners. Luckily for me, RecRap made a 3-part tutorial that explains everything you need to know to complete your first speedrun.
Minecraft speedrunning can look very confusing.
And I was going to watch them all while meticulously taking notes to not forget anything. Just kidding. I thought I knew how to speedrun already and decided to load into a world without watching them.
Now we're gonna drop to 30 FOV.
Safe to say I was completely wrong. Yeah, I ended up watching tutorials while in the middle of the run. Alright, now I could show you all the other attempts I did where I died over and over again. But that would make for a really boring video. So instead, I'm just gonna break down and explain the things I did on my best completion, so you can follow easily. Just know that before this run, there were a lot of stupid deaths and a lot of resets. All that being said, no more stalling. Let's get into the actual speedrun. Wait, one last thing. I see you about to skip to the end of the video to see what time I managed to get. But I promise you do not, as this video is gonna simply explain all the things I learned as a new speedrunner, and maybe this can be your ticket to start speedrunning as well if you haven't already. So in the first few minutes, I'm looking to obtain the basic tools and food necessary to go into the nether. I can do this easily using a village by killing the iron golem and trading with the fisherman. Now, why are fishermen, you may ask? Here, let me explain. 7 is a lucky number, but it's also the most important number in a Minecraft speedrun. Here's why. This is 7 iron. At first, it might not seem like a lot, but it's actually all you need to beat the ender dragon. This is because it allows you to craft a bucket to make a nether portal using water and lava, and a flint and steel to light it. Now, you might be wondering, what's the extra 3 iron for? The remaining iron is used to make an iron pickaxe, which is needed to mine gold blocks that you find in the bastion to get ender pearls as fast as possible. Now, you would normally get iron by mining it from caves and smelting it, but this is very slow and inefficient, so speedrunners will reset seeds looking for different naturally spawning structures that provide this iron. As a beginner, I decided to go for villages and shipwrecks, as these both provide iron and food, which is very important if you don't want to die, you know? And just like that, I was able to enter the nether in under 5 minutes for the first time. Okay, so I actually wrote that I entered the nether sub 5 in the script, but that's actually not what happened in my best run, so just know I had better nether enters previously. Getting up to this point was relatively easy so far. All I had to do was learn how to make a portal using a lava bucket, which I'm about to teach you, as it's actually useful for everyone, even you who probably doesn't speedrun. So there's 2 different methods I learned. One is with a regular lava pool, and the other one is using a magma ravine. So for the lava pool, all you want to do is find a 4-block long patch of lava, and place a block on one of the middle patches and place water right next to it to the opposite side. Break the block that you just placed, and now you have the base of your portal. Then, you want to make this reverse L shape on one of the corners and add these 2 blocks on the other side. Place your water here and bam, all you have to do is add lava to create the portal. You can also break this block if you want to make sure that the water doesn't go everywhere and ruin your lava. For the magma ravine portal, you'll need 3 doors to create pockets of air. Find a 3-block L-shaped magma formation and break one of the sides. Then replace that block with your door and use the remaining 2 on the opposite sides. Now place a block in front of you. If you did everything right, you should now have access to the lava. All you have to do now is to take the lava and place it to create the top of your portal. Make sure you remove the lava on the inside of the portal, but keep the lava on the sides, as they will form the rest of the portal. After that, add the block next to you, break the cobblestone and drain the water. Upon reaching the Nether, I'm looking for two things in particular, a bastion and a fortress. The bastion allows me to trade gold way faster than if I decided to go and mine for ingots, since there's a higher concentration of piglins there and many gold blocks that spawn naturally. These trades have a chance of dropping ender pearls that you need to beat the game, and other useful items that are used later in the speedrun, such as string, obsidian, and fire resistance potion, but I'll talk about it more later in the video. So if you're just starting to speedrun, this is probably gonna be the thing you spend the most time practicing and learning, since finding gold in bastion randomly is not that easy. This is why you learn routes for the 4 different bastion types that exist, and each bastion type has different formation, so it gets even more complicated. These routes are predetermined paths and blocks you place and break to allow the piglin's AI to follow you to a trading hole where you're going to drop all the gold you collected. I could go on and on about this for hours, but for the sake of the video's length, all you need to do is that I mine gold blocks, trap piglins in a 2x1 hole, and trade gold. I then need to go to a fortress to obtain blaze rods that are used to craft Eyes of Enders to locate the Stronghold. Runners will almost always opt to go to a bastion first, since it allows us to obtain fire resistance potion that make fighting blazes so much easier. Also, you'll often get extra pearls, so you can use those to travel without having to bridge over massive lava lakes. Once I have obtained enough blaze rods to craft the 12 Eyes of Ender needed to go into the end, I will go back to the overworld using the obsidian I got from the trades I did earlier. Have you ever seen a speedrunner create a nether portal and spawn directly into a stronghold and wondered, how the hell did he just do that? This is a technique called nether traveling, where speedrunners go into the overworld once to calculate the stronghold location using this calculator, and then go back into the nether to travel, since 1 block in the nether is equal to 8 in the overworld. To keep it simple, by aligning my crosshair with this pixel of the eye and doing that twice, you get 2 axes which can be triangulated to find the intersection of the 2 lines. There's also a way called both eye that allows you to calculate it with only 1 eye, but I'm not gonna explain that in this video. And all that's left to do now is to build a portal right at these chords. This is not necessary for me to get a time below 1 hour, since it probably saves between 5 to 10 minutes. After traveling for a while and getting some extra wool for bed, I finally arrived at the cores of the stronghold and dug down at the 5-4 of the chunk to fall directly into the starter staircase. This is because the starter staircase always spawns at 4-4 of the chunk, but if you dig down exactly there, you would take extra unnecessary fall damage. Now I need to stop the gameplay right here and give a clear warning for what's coming next. If you're already a speedrunner, you're about to witness the worst possible stronghold preemptive that you have ever seen, so be ready to clean your eyes. If you don't understand anything that I've just said, do not, and I repeat, do not copy anything that I do in the next minute of gameplay. So let me go over what preemptive is supposed to do. This is the portal room. One unique thing about it is that it is the only room in the stronghold that contains a spawner, and luckily for us, we can use the pie chart to detect it since it is considered a block entity. By going to these settings, reducing our render distance to 8, and putting our entity levels to the minimum, these numbers will change depending on what you currently see on your screen. Now, if you make your screen smaller by lowering your FOV, you can now have a pretty good idea of where the spawner is by looking for a spike in this orange portion of the graph. And boom, go in that direction and you'll find the portal room. Now, I end up getting lucky in finding the portal room even though I completely messed up my preemptive. And just like that, I was now at the last step left for me to beat the game. Someone who doesn't know too much about Minecraft might think that the dragon fight would be the hardest thing to do in a speedrun. Although that seems intuitive, it's actually the complete opposite. Instead of breaking all the healing crystals, using beds as explosives in the end does so much damage that you can actually kill the dragon faster than it can regenerate. Using a technique called one cycling, you can time your bed as the dragon perches to deal the most amount of damage possible, so all I have to do now is wait and I'll let the rest play out.